Oh, he's eating.
Woo.
Well, that's his
No.
problem.
No.
It might be. You've still got
Oh,
the
Evan
place.
is eating.
You've still got cathedral.
Okay.
Evan
Christian?
is eating.
Cathedral.
Okay.
Hello.
Hoi.
Hey.
If I'm
I
right,
can do.
we are live now. If I'm all correct.
Oh
So
great! I just started bleeding.
a perfect start point.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
That's a great start to a podcast.
Alright, let me do the introduction real quick. Hello everyone, this is the pilot for the BMR podcast, the first ever BMR
Pilot
podcast.
episode.
Yeah, exactly. So just quick rundown of everybody who's joined. On the left top side you have Raymond. Down below you have Glenn. In the middle you have Aaron. On the right top side is Christian, and below is me. There are a couple of others joining, including Race, also known Gerwand to Dutch people. And I believe Tijn might be joining. We're not sure yet, so we'll find out any second now.
Just assume you can use my real name.
Yeah, I just used Aaron. It's Urban Aaron on Flickr. Anyway. I hope everything is working. Has somebody got the live stream popped up? Aaron,
Just a second.
Aaron, you have the live stream up,
yeah.
right?
That was my task.
That was your task. Is everything working?
My sound went double, so the live stream is working.
Okay, perfect. Everything's working. Yeah, well, where to start? How are things going, I would say.
That's your department. I'm just sitting back.
Yeah, your guys are just enjoying the ride, really. Yeah, how to start?
The topic, and we start talking.
The topic that we need to start, the favorite model that we have already built. Raymond, I'm really interesting. You're currently working on a couple of others, I believe.
I'm not really working on anything train related right now.
Why not, man?
Because
I gave you a
because
train
I
motor.
yeah because I'm mostly just working, which
Okay.
means I'm driving actual trains because of this freaking virus. Yeah, so next week's gonna be tough. 60 hours of work ahead of me. Starting
Jeez.
in like 6 hours, I gotta go to work.
And I'm complaining with 24 hours of work every week.
Yep.
Ah.
So yeah, but I try to get some Lego going on in the next couple of days, couple of weeks, and make the best out of this situation right now.
I think that's the most important thing right now, just to get to see where just go with the flow and see what happens.
Stay at home.
Unless you're a train
Hashtag stay at
operator.
home. Yes, unless you are one of the fortunate souls who still have to go to work every day.
I'm working from home. I've been doing all right so far.
Ah.
Yeah, Aaron is also working from home. I've made the joke already, but
Nah. It's hard. It's a hard life as a bartender and a college student. Both are closed. So basically, I'm building all day.
yeah, if anybody's
Oh, you
following,
poor thing.
yeah, if anybody's
Oh,
following
okay.
Urban Aaron his Flickr, you probably realize that he's uploading quite on a regular base right now, and that's because that's the
uploaded
reason
one
behind that.
picture.
Yeah, you're uploading more than normal.
Wait.
Oh, he's kidding.
For the people who haven't seen it yet, it's actually almost finished right now. Most
I'm
most
amazed he
people
has
might have
pencils.
seen it somewhere on the slightly more closed parts of the interwebs, but yeah, this is what I've been doing during quarantine. Today's additions were those little details on the roof. I will probably upload a couple of good pictures along probably tomorrow when I've got daylight again.
It's such a cool passenger car, and the sand green is really neat too.
Yeah, the
It's-
funny
it's a
thing is,
really-
the sand green was chosen by the wife of I believe, of the CEO of the Dutch railway company back in the day, because she liked the color, or she had the same color for her, how do you call it, dishes?
I think those two go hand in hand.
Yeah,
Was it the
Both
same guy who
Canadians only
painted
had that
this
color.
diesel
Pepper
engine in
because-
blue?
yeah,
Yeah.
the same guy who decided
Ah.
it was a great idea to paint diesel engines blue. Yeah,
Light blue.
Light blue, yeah,
light
exactly. That light friend-colored blue, yeah.
Oh god.
Yeah. So I really enjoyed their weird stuff.
Glenn, you are working on your Crusader. You might want to talk a bit about that, or don't you want to spoil anything?
Oh, I haven't been working on it as such. Recently I've been working on several different projects at once. I've mentioned a little bit about some of them before, but I don't have my camera on. I don't have a webcam right now. But to the left of my computer, I have 2 locomotives sitting on my workbench in various stages of completion. And then I have 4 freight cars just next to that, that are pretty much just need a few finishing touches and the lettering and numbering on them as well. And all of that is for a bunch of different. Basically, when they're all done, they'll go. They're they're being built for a bunch of different reasons, and just haven't been able to talk about that yet, and I won't yet. But pretty exciting, I guess. At least it's something to work on rather than, oh, I'm stuck inside and I have nothing to work on all day.
I think it's the most of
But
the. I think the Lego trains, Lego fans all over the world are currently just doing a marathon of building.
yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
No, exactly.
Well,
That's-
surprisingly, I haven't seen that much activity on Flickr.
Yeah, I'm actually
compared
kind of
to
surprised
Reddit.
too. Maybe I just don't follow enough people.
I
that
do
might be the
see
case.
a question in the live chat asking what's my favorite non-German steam engine. Well, first of all, most of my builds are German. Non-German, I would say definitely something British. The Flying Scotsman or Mallard, just because of the unique style and color schemes of those locomotives. Yeah.
Good answers.
Yeah, I think that's quite correct. I'm Flying Scotsman. I believe. Yeah, I think that's still on my build list. But it's been done so many times, in a really proper way, in an amazing way. And I'm not sure if I'm able to topple that.
Rico is a modeling anomaly. He is born in a country that he doesn't live in, and models trains from a country that he doesn't live in.
Exactly.
That he doesn't live in or was born in.
And I have a name that doesn't match the country that I live in. So.
Yeah, but to be fair, the Netherlands abolished all steam engines before the 1950s.
Yes.
We only have diesel, electric. Yeah.
About 10 Dutch locomotives survive, and not a lot of them are operational. So most of the operational steam locomotives are German. And for some strange reason, and Raymond will probably recognize it, are German locomotives built much better than other locomotives for more speed, more power, and more reliability.
Yep. That is definitely correct. We used to, but nowadays, with all this international stuff going on, we just build custom stuff that doesn't work as well as it should. And yeah,
I hope
it's
your
my
boss isn't
daily
listening.
life, because Siemens engines used to be very good, but now they are not as good. Bombardier engines used to be slightly good, but now they are just crap. And yeah. But that's the way, sadly, train operation goes in Europe by now. You just order custom stuff. You don't want to pay a good price for it, so you just get the cheap stuff and have to live with it.
No.
That's why many trains
They
here
break down and
break down, and
cost
you got
people a lot
lots
of
of
money.
Yep, that's why you get lots of delays and technical problems along the way. But yeah, that's why politicians should not interfere with train operations. But that's just my 2
Politics do
cents.
different things.
Yep, that's just my 2 cents on that topic. Because I work on the front line as well.
that might help.
You're the frontline man, yeah.
It might
Mhm.
color your opinion.
Yep.
But anyway,
If anybody's wondering, Christian has a cathedral and / big church in the background.
cathedral.
Is your audio
I'm
working,
sorry, I really have to
Christian?
get
Yes, I'm here.
Oh,
I'm
yeah. It's
bleeding.
it's actually bleeding.
That's a great way to start for the first BMR podcast.
I'm not sure if I'm able to topple this.
Just wait a second.
Okay, in the meantime, let me introduce myself a little.
Go for it.
That's right. You can see a cathedral in the background. That is to be part of the background of our layout in October also. I'm also planning to build some trains, but still waiting on some racklink orders. So for the moment, I'm rebuilding some little houses that are going to complete the town part of our layout, and a little bit of tram track around the church. So that's what I'm doing for the moment.
Yeah,
Very good.
you have quite interesting builds. Oh shit! I just dropped something. Okay. You have quite interesting builds, and you're currently doing a lot of revisits to some older houses that you're building. And the funny thing is, you keep asking if you need to tear it down or save it, and most of those houses we have never seen at a show before.
That's not fair. You had a pole in front of it.
Yeah, that's true. Back in 2018, he had a pole, a structural column right in front of his layout.
Concrete column.
A concrete column, so nobody was able to see his entire station.
Ouch.
I have an interesting.
So-
I have another interesting question. Who are going to hand this to? I think, Glenn, this is quite an interesting one for you. What's your favorite model that somebody else has built?
Oh, that is a great question. I wish I had an answer prepared for that.
If even if I had to pick one builder, it would be hard.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. All right, well, here's a good answer. I don't know if I could pick one favorite from somebody else, but one that I really, really like is of course I have to pick an American model. The
Of course.
Erie 28882 triplex from Nate Brill, built that a couple years ago. That's has always been one of my favorite models, almost ever, for a lot of reasons. Um,
Can we get a
Primarily
picture of it?
because, yeah, I'm going on Flickr right now. Give me just a second.
Ah,
I really like that because of the amount of thought that he put into the boiler. Sorry, I'm trying to find his Flickr. I can't type in.
type and talk is hard.
Type in focus. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Um,
Give me just a quick second.
Alright, we'll give you a quick second. Evan,
I
you
would
have.
say
Yeah. I'm interested in what's your favorite model that somebody else has built? I'm very interested right now.
I've got about 20 seconds of thinking time. I would say Swoofty did once one of those Brazilian engines, a 6 wide American. I think it was a GE something in teal, back when teal was still a very, very rare color. I really
Okay,
like that one.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but German/Raised has just joined, the other BMR representative.
There we go.
And like always, he was 10 minutes too late, but not talking about
Actually, it were 11, but okay.
that.
And I know why he's late. He's working for a train company as well.
Yeah, he's working for a German one too, for the Germans.
Yeah.
Ah,
Never trust them Germans. We all know what happened. Hey, I can say that.
yeah, you're allowed to say that one, yeah.
I got a picture of Nate's triplex up here. I'm gonna see if I can screen share.
Yeah, if you put yeah,
Can you
that
see?
might work. And then if Enrico pulls it full screen.
Oh yeah, I'm
that
going to
that
pull
one's
full screen.
amazing.
My mouse.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is this is
11
this has always been one of my favorite models. So I can't zoom in very far, but so he's one of. There's a couple reasons why I really like this one is because he powered each engine. So all three of the driving wheel sets here are powered.
Ooh.
It's 3 L motors on one regular Lego rechargeable battery. The other thing that I really like about it is I think this is pearl silver that he uses in
Yeah,
the
I was
boiler.
meaning to ask
Blood
because
silver
it
something
almost,
like that.
yeah, it almost looks like light bluish gray, but it has a bit of a shine to it.
Yeah, it's the original triplex locomotives had a Russian iron boiler jacket, which is a little bit reflective kind of silver material. And so pearl silver worked really well for that. So I was talking to him about it once, and I think he said he used almost the entire pearl silver part selection to build the boiler.
Wow.
And he built the boiler in like 3 or 4 different radius, because like you've got the firebox here, which is different from this first course of the boiler, which is different from the second course, which is slightly different than the smoke box, and it looks really good. Put
Yeah, that's
together,
amazing.
and it pulls really well too. It can pull easily 20 of our USRA hopper cars
Yeah,
with
that was
and it really easily.
What I really like is that it has
so that was before ball
driving wheels.
bearings, right?
That's correct. It was before ball bearings.
Yeah, and
Ah.
I think
he's got
yeah,
driving wheels in the tender, I believe, if I'm correct. That's pretty cool. I haven't seen that
yeah.
done before, actually.
Every one of those is driven.
I can imagine
It's
having
yeah,
some
it's
pulling power
absolute
then.
favorite of
Okay,
me.
now,
Oh yeah, it's an L motor geared down from a 20-tooth gear to a 12-tooth gear. So
Jeez.
or geared up, yeah, 12 to 20 that should be. But
It's
it
not
is
running very
Really? Yeah,
fast, but
that's slowed
yeah,
down.
it's a running around
got some
German's
traction.
speed. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Hey,
that's
not this way.
where he excels at building high-speed locomotives that have a lot of traction power but don't run very fast and disintegrate themselves on the first lap they take.
Yeah,
Same stuff.
and the funny thing is, if he picked his locomotive up, and the train motor was just spinning around like a helicopter, and he said it was one of his hidden futures.
Yep, he's building the next generation of trains, helicopter trains.
Oh dear lord.
Unless they get faster that way.
Hey, it ain't stupid if it works. So
Well, it
Yeah,
worked, yeah.
that's fun. Yeah,
I would argue that sometimes, but
I'm currently working on something that's powered by 2 XL motors, just because I could, and I'm really interested to see when it's done how much pulling power it will have, because it will probably be a lot. Yeah, I don't have a better explanation.
but
one
we
XL
don't
motor
we
does
don't need
plenty
that.
enough already.
Yeah, it's got 2 inside. I'm actually wondering if the PFX brick will actually be able to give it enough current to actually work.
Good question. I know Nate Brill, for a little while, he was experimenting with like the limitations of the motors, and I'm actually surprised. So I mentioned the triplex earlier, and that is 3 L motors running on one standard rechargeable battery, but he's got one of those version 2 infrared receivers in it, which have better motor drivers. But
Okay.
I know that he has had a lot of issues using 2 XL motors on one battery before, which is
Yeah.
interesting.
I had room inside for a rechargeable battery pack, but then Tyne or someone from my lab informed me that when you're using PFX brick, you can actually just use an external battery pack. So I'm.
I did.
Oh, you did. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm bad.
Yeah.
Remembering
Give
who
credits
said
to the
who.
right person. Come on.
My lord.
But I'm going to have a look into placing an external battery pack inside it, because that might give me more power.
Yeah, that
Really?
probably. If you wanted to just go with the 100% Lego solution, it would probably be a good idea if you wanted to put like 2 separate batteries in it. So you basically would have 2 systems in it, but that would get kind of difficult. But I
Yeah.
think I think a PFX brick has the best motor drivers that you can get currently.
Yeah,
And
perhaps a Boolis
so I think,
will beat them, but
oh yeah,
I haven't had any experience with those. They're more technic orientated.
yeah, the people that build like the RC cars with Technic use Buiz a lot because you have like the 4 functions off of
Yeah.
off
Hey,
of
Raymond.
the one part.
Yes.
You're using a Buwis in your trucks, right?
Nope. I still haven't bought myself a Buwiz.
Ah, no, that was the other one.
The other one.
Dennis.
Wow.
Dennis is,
Yeah.
Dennis is using them.
Yeah. Never
Someone
mind,
is
so it
digging
goes-
in its bins.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's.
Yes, that's
Christian.
me. I'm looking for a 5 high door to replace a 6 high door because I'm laying a tram track in my little town. So every road has to be raised one brick. So every building is sinking one brick into the street, and well, everything has to change. It is. Don't do this at home.
I've been meaning to ask Glenn, you were able to test the new Brick Tracks wheels, correct?
Not test them, but I do have a few. Let me switch. I can switch to my phone, which I can show them off a little bit if you give me
Yeah,
just a
sure, no
second.
problem. Because I
Yeah,
was meaning to
that will
ask,
work.
because I suck at gluing the standard Lego ones. They always
Yeah,
fall
it's
off at,
not quite
well,
as fun.
after 1 hour or something, so I always have to ask Gerban to help me out. Since for some strange reason, he's got more experience with gluing Lego than me.
I'm so great with gluing. You don't want.
His main sponsor is Revel, of the biggest model skill makers in the Netherlands. Okay, Glenn, it's working. I'm not sure if audio is
Yeah.
working, but
Oh,
Alright,
yeah.
can you hear?
yeah,
Can
we can hear
me
you.
as well?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Awesome.
we can hear you. We
Yeah,
can see
I
you. Sound quality is a
so-
bit less, but of course.
Not everybody has a professional microphone to use, Erwin.
I don't
Everyone
know this.
has a
I stole it from my dad.
The only one who uses a proper headset.
What?
So for those
You don't
people who
even
are
have a
watching the
webcam.
stream that might not be aware, Brick Tracks, who is responsible for things like large radius curves and injection molded large radius curves, and soon to be switches. Hopefully, they have also been working on producing a new replacement wheel, and to replace I've got a broken one here, but the old Lego style wheel, which uses the axle, and in a set it would have gone through like that. What is it, like 6 studs by 3 studs wheel holder
Mhm.
piece? So that's what this is, and so those of us who use ball bearings, well, Lego has recently changed the design of that piece so where it doesn't have one single axle. It's just the 2 separate wheels that you click in, like in the Disney train set or the new City train set. So those of us who like to use ball bearings, like myself, is kind of just out of luck until Brick Tracks came along and started designing these wheels, which are basically a drop-in replacement for the old ones. So I've got just 4 of them here, or 4 axles worth of wheels here. But so like it's the exact same size as the old style wheel, but in the center of the wheel, it's just 1 stud rather than
Yeah,
that,
I really like they
that-
decided to do that because it makes it a lot more easier to make the wheels with a bit more details.
Yeah, it helped for like the some of the BMR models, for example, use like a spinning roller bearing piece on the end, and this is much easier to connect to that too than
Yeah, exactly.
the other
Yeah.
ones. I mean, you can still do it with either one. It's just this is going to be a little bit easier. You could put a tile right on the stud here rather than having to put a 1x1 ground plate and then
I'm
a
doing
tile.
something wrong. I'm doing something wrong.
And the axles here are the same Brick Tracks axles that they've been selling for a while, but they press fit into the wheels so you don't have to glue them on. And they do sit in there really well, and you actually do have to pull kind of hard to get them back off. So it's I know Brick Tracks did a really good job on this, and I have just 1 car worth of them right now, but I already really want more. So
Yeah, we're all waiting
be
for
nice
those to
since-
come in production because they look really, really cool. And the
they
normal Lego
are
ones
in
are just
production already.
the normal Lego ones are just really difficult to get right now, and a lot of expensive one. They are offered for quite expensive prices because they are now out of
Yeah.
production.
They're getting much more expensive because people keep buying them up. But yeah, these are
By
already
the
in
hundreds.
production.
Yeah.
They don't know when they'll be available to purchase, but they're at least on the way. So that's good.
What I'm wondering is, do they still fit in the old bearings? The UDs, do they still fit inside these parts? I don't know if you can see them.
Probably not, because I believe with that part, the what actually holds the wheel in there is the pointed part on the end of the wheel, or the outside face. So
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
actually, you know what? I'm gonna try it. I've got
No.
one of those around. Give me a
Okay,
second to find
I'm
it.
going to pull you up on the big screen. For people wondering who the other attic, the other Lego room is that just popped up on stream, that's Tijn. But he's screaming on the background, so he'll probably join back in a couple of seconds. I'm going to pull up Glenn on the big screen now, so people are able to see what he's doing. Is it working?
It does fit. It's not an ideal fit, but it does fit.
Nah,
So I don't know if you can see it as I'm spinning. Oh wait, hang on. Give me just a second. You do have to be a little careful when you put them together because you can misalign the wheels,
Nah, okay.
but it does fit, and you can. It will spin, so
And not that I actually use it, but I was wondering if even non-Lego parts are still backwards compatible.
yeah. It might not be ideal, just given the axle size is a little bit different, and you don't have the pointed ends keeping it really well in place. But it's at least
Are the axles smaller or bigger?
it's slightly smaller,
Slightly
and that's
smaller,
just
okay.
so it can fit in the ball bearings.
Wow.
Yeah, I've had some
Somebody has
troubles
got
with
his BMR shirt out of the box. Wow, somebody had to do it. It's 2 sizes too big. He's never used it before, but on the first BMR podcast, he had to use it.
I don't even have mine on.
No, but you at least have a train-related one on, so.
That is true. I do have a train-related shirt on. I'm gonna turn my camera back off and go to the microphone.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Short introduction, Tijn. En dat was Tijn.
Yeah.
Say hello, Tijn. Tijn is another member of our LARC, our Lego World group, and experienced builder. Especially experienced in building strange things in scale 1 to 45. So, fun to have him around too. Oh, we don't hear you. We don't hear you. No, we don't hear you, Tijn. We don't hear you.
This is great.
Yeah, this is perfect. Yeah.
That's better?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we hear you.
All right.
Hi.
So it helps to keep the microphone on then.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you want to introduce yourself or?
No, I'm fine. I'm just here to observe.
Ah.
Okay. Glenn, your microphone is muted. Okay, Raymond.
Anyway.
Yeah.
I have a difficult question to ask you.
Okay.
How do I going to show this?
Take. Oh no.
Yeah, are you seeing it? I'm not sure how you're seeing it. Are you seeing it on the live stream or?
Oh no. It was fun for me to actually do that. For those of you watching the stream and who are out of the loop, this is I totally forgot his name. I sent you the name quite some time ago.
Yeah, it's in the Lego World 2019 report from BMR. If people want to check out his name.
Yep. This guy is an official Lego Star Wars designer, and I've managed to get him and another Lego designer to sign my train with an adding. So I've got an autographed locomotive from an actual Lego designer. How great is that?
Yeah, that's pretty nice. Actually, it motivated me to get something ready for that if the needs arises as well. I still want one of their autographs on one of my intermodal containers.
And the funny thing is, he's a Lego Star Wars designer, and
Yeah.
the day later he came up to us and he secretly confessed that he's actually quite a big of a Lego train fan, but he wasn't allowed to say that. So and it was really fun to hear him compliment Raymond's locomotive. Well, it's actually a Star Wars builder, so
Everybody likes trains.
everybody likes train, correctly.
Yeah. Trains are
Even the
amazing.
guys who are working at Lego. They're just not allowed to confess it.
Yeah, not allowed to confess because otherwise
Ah.
Lego has to do more with trains.
Yes.
I wouldn't really like designing trains for Lego themselves. There are too many restrictions.
Yeah, exactly. Most of the trains are just designed for 7-year-olds, and since we are all, well, we're all mentally, I think we're all
Well,
mentally,
physically,
yeah,
not
physically,
mentally, we're
mentally,
physically
maybe
older.
7-year-old, but it would be a difficult thing to test if it's correct.
I don't think I would be allowed to build this for 7-year-olds.
No, I don't think so. No.
No,
No.
no, small chance.
I'd-
And a lot of people ask me if I was interested in once becoming a designer for Lego, and I always said no because I think it will be a fun job, but the restrictions are so much that yeah, you don't have the creativity like you have now as a mock builder.
Yeah, that's true. That's really true.
if I was gonna go work for Lego, I would want to do things like build my Buffalo Creek and Golly locomotive and sell that, but they would shoot me down before I even got half the sentence out of my mouth.
Yeah, probably.
Yep.
Perhaps they would be interested until you ended the word buffalo, because they might think you would suggest a buffalo animal part thingy. So they might be listening all the way through the word buffalo.
That's weird.
Maybe
Uh,
you've got a couple of questions lined up, right?
yeah, we've got. Evan, do you want to answer?
I can always try to answer something.
Go ahead.
Opinions.
Go ahead.
Ask him the question first.
Yeah, I can't answer air.
Oh,
try
sorry.
that.
Sorry. I was thinking you were going to answer a couple of questions in the live stream.
Oh, I can't see the questions from the live stream, so you have to ask them. You have to forward or relay the questions to me.
Gabby, we don't hear you.
No.
No. He's talking to himself again.
Yeah, yeah.
If his microphone is
I
working.
messed that one up. I put push to talk on. Yeah, that never worked.
Okay, I do have an interesting question for you, Gerbrand.
Yes.
I've already asked around this question, but what's your favorite model that somebody else has built?
Stay sick.
The only one Martijn ever finished and is operational.
That's harsh.
Operational. Just
No,
really slow.
there is one, and it might not be. It might explain more about the way how I model, but it's so I think it's Nate Brill. He once designed a pair of Amfleet coaches. Amfleet, the Amtrak passenger coaches for the Northeast corridor.
Could you pull up the picture,
Yeah.
Gerbrand?
Yeah.
Let me.
I
I've already.
Just
I've
go on
already got his
Flickr and then
Flickr opened
share
up,
your
but-
screen, and I'll make sure it's.
I'm
on the live
actually
stream.
not sure if he still has them on his Flickr. He deleted them.
Yeah, he's building
Yeah.
trucks right now.
Hold on a second. Looking for him.
Shopilapians.
He
How do
has
you
the
pronounce
AEM
this?
7 posted.
Yeah, so he made the AEM 7 and those two Amfleet coaches at one. And I remember, I think he was one of the first who used those curved slopes in at the moment when they were not that, not that common yet, not that much used. We were all still using regular slopes a lot. And here he comes and he builds a tin can, and he builds it this way. It's corrugated, and he decided to go for the for form over corrugation, and that's just, yeah, for me that was really great, and I've always envied that model. So
Really good
that-
answer.
For me, that's like number one.
It's a pretty good answer, but if you're able to pull up a picture, it will be a lot better.
Working on that.
Yeah, I think he once had them on posted on Eurobricks, and those stayed around. Let me see.
Eurobreaks, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes forget that exists as well.
Amfleet.
Looking everywhere for him.
Here it is. So I
even
found
went
it.
to
You could share your screen, and I'll make sure you're on the big screen. Oh.
Can I
Victor, I
do
think you have to
can I do
feature
screen
it's
share?
Raymond.
Finally found my camera.
Hey!
Let's
Now I'm the only one without a camera.
Said Glenn.
I was
You
so
can just live
reassured there
stream
for
a
a little
picture
while.
of yourself.
Just switch back to your phone.
I can't-
Okay, I'm going to.
Is
pull
this
up-
is this working?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
working.
yes,
Yeah,
can
it's
see it.
working.
So it's like from September 25th,
Oh, shit.
2011. This is the AEM7 that he built, which also uses really nice the big old school Lego train windows. That was
Oh yeah.
quite cool as well. And with this one, he really he went mental with the corrugation. I mean, it's just grill bricks, but still. And then he also modeled the coaches. And let's see if I have So for people who actually don't know, Amfleet coaches, look it up. But they're
There it
they're
is.
literally tin cans. And for me, first time that was great
Wow.
to see. And back in the days, you only had the 2x4 curved slope. I think
Yeah, you can
maybe
see
the
he went with the 1x3 version there on the end,
Yeah,
just in that one stud
Yeah,
space.
yeah,
Try and
true.
make it match a little bit.
and
True.
and just sloped tiles for the for where you now would place just a 2x2.
Yep. Yeah, true.
That's pretty nice
It's
actually.
pretty
And if you
interesting
can
design,
see
yeah.
the top part, he actually canted the curved tiles a little bit as well, which was definitely for 2011 something that was not seen that much in the
No.
scene.
Yeah.
So
Gil said in the live chat if he was able to own one of NetBuild's models, it'd definitely be that one.
the great minds think alike, Kale.
I would say it's still. I
It's
can
still
really
pretty.
remember
If you compare it to some other models, it's quite. It's still up there, you
Yeah.
know. It hasn't altered. How do you say it?
It hasn't aged that
It
It
much.
aged that. Yeah, it hasn't aged that much.
It has aged, but not by that much.
Yeah, exactly.
I've
So
seen
yeah, that
way
will
worse.
be my all-time favorite.
Yeah. All-time favorite is such a heavy word.
Yeah, it's always such a. If
Yeah,
I
sorry.
would answer.
Well, second would be definitely his GG1, but we discussed that already 3 days ago.
Alright.
That's like and the same for his GG1. The same goes. You know, the
Oh,
curvature,
that's the same guy. Oh, yeah, of course.
The curvature, the choose of colors, the application of stickers.
I think we disagree on colors, but that's my personal thing.
Built the Conrail version and he built the Pennsylvania version. They're identical in every sense of the word, except the Conrail one just for some reason doesn't work. Apparently it just doesn't like being Conrail.
I'm really not that familiar with.
I don't think there would be much rolling stock that like the Conrail years.
I'll get some read in another day.
If I would
about
to
Conrail.
answer myself, well, it's a difficult thing because I'm currently in a podcast with all of my childhood heroes, so it's difficult to say which one of them is the better one.
I doubt it will be me.
Now you have to make the rest of them feel bad.
Oh,
Yeah.
now I'm going
Now
to
it's the
compliment.
sick, definitely.
Pick one.
It's the sick.
This is sick.
Who's helping you all the time?
Yeah, Tijn. If you're always wondering who's Tijn just helped designed almost every of my model. We used to do. He hasn't got any LDD anymore, but we used to share those files back over to each other until we are both satisfied, or most of the time when I was satisfied.
Thank you.
I really like Glenn his Crusader for especially the sound and the streamlining. It has aged a bit, to be honest, but it's still one of the best out there.
Yeah, well, it's aged probably more to me than it's aged to other people because I'm so familiar. I have grown to be more familiar with those streamlined Pacifics, and whenever I look at my Crusader now, it's just, oh, I need to fix this, this, and this, rather than, oh, that still looks pretty good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Curse of being the builder.
Yeah, I can imagine that.
Yeah, I can imagine, especially if you've taken it to quite a lot of shows too, and you've ran, I believe, it has ran
I think
quite.
that engine has the most mileage.
Yeah,
out
it's the
of
most
any
mileage
of
on it.
the
Yeah.
engines. It's basically been the. As soon as we get, well, a lot of times when we've done shows and had the pen lug layout together, it's been, all right, well, we have a loop of track together. I'm going to throw the Crusader on there and make sure it doesn't fall off. So.
Sounds a lot like what we do with the Diesel 3, Christian.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Christian has built.
Yeah, Erwin, go ahead.
Christian has built a Diesel 3. It's quite an exotic shape. I don't know if he has it on hand.
I could pull up a picture if that would work better.
Well, it is quite difficult to get it on camera.
I believe I have a picture. Just give me a second.
But it's the most reliable runner we've got. So
was
far.
Was it the gray one?
Yeah, the gray one. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm trying
And
my
it was
best
built
to find a picture.
originally. It was built to fit into a layout of 6 wide trains, and the guy who was the main guy of the layout, he wouldn't allow me to ride it because he had all kinds of switch points that were difficult. So in the end, it never rode on that layout. But for that reason, I shortened the cars. So it has shorter cars than in reality, and it's a little bit simple in a couple of aspects. So I am planning to give it an upgrade, lengthen the cars, and do the roof again, and well.
Somebody got a picture of it
detailing.
because I'm not really able to find the proper one.
I've got a couple.
Could you pull up one? Because I'm not able to find one. The only thing I'm finding is broken down trains, broken down trains, broken down trains, and more broken down trains.
Yeah, I should not have spammed our photo groups with trains that just broke down.
No, I'm on my personal drive. It is on my personal drive.
Race trains that broke down.
Yeah, exactly.
2018.
Yeah, I'm looking 2019 because 2018 isn't on my laptop.
I didn't make that much pictures of it because, it was already a year old. But this one.
Yeah, that one. Yeah. I'm
Yes,
going to
that
pull up
one.
on full screen.
Picture, but you get the idea.
You got to zoom out, zoom out because it's a bit of a zoom
I'm
out.
still quite.
Yeah.
I'm still quite satisfied with the outcome, the streamline front side of the car. So I'm keeping that design for the EMU, the 1936 EMU that I am going to build. That has the same design. But it is much more beautiful because it is dark green and not light bluish gray all over.
Yeah. I can't wait to see that.
Now Erwin is on full screen. I don't want to put anyone in that misery. Okay. Sorry.
Enrico, read the chat.
Read the chat. Yes, I'm reading the chat. For the Dutchies out there, what do you think of the way our biggest steam locomotive has been treated?
The other chat.
The other chat. Which chat?
This is also a fine question.
This is also a fine question. The 6317. For the international people who joined in, that's the biggest steam locomotive that survived the scrapping in the Netherlands. And instead of giving it a 100th place in our museum, it has been used in a attraction in a really dark environment, so nobody's able to see it in its full potential. So that's the Dutch version, the Dutch way to treat our history.
were a great childhood ride.
Yeah, it's a fun ride. For the people,
My children love the ride.
it's personally one of my favorite, but it's just a shame that isn't you're not able to see the locomotive.
Yeah.
For people who just joined in, from the left upside it's Raymond. Down below, Big
You
Dad.
should also tell their
Yeah,
Flickr
Flickr Dave. Yeah, I
handles.
was going to Big Dad. My dyslexia is kicking in. So, deadly.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Okay, move on to the next one.
Down below, the only one without a webcam is Glenn, also known as Streamlight Bricks.
Glenn Holland.
Also
Glenn
the only
Holland.
American.
The American.
The one and only.
The one and only American. Then it's Gerband, who just drank his beer, also known as Raised on Flickr and other social media. The only one who's just wearing his BMR shirt to show off that he's got one.
Probably one of the only 2 people in the stream that have a BMR shirt.
Yeah, I can confirm
I
that
still
because
need to order one for myself.
yeah, I've got one. And then it's Erwin, who's got a professional microphone.
Yeah.
Below him
I'm
is
cool.
Stijn, who's currently just building and enjoying our discussions. On the right top, it's Christian. Oh, he's working on his BR 50 turns. Tijn is working on his BR 50. Yeah, you're seeing it.
I just butchered some Lego parts and it's working now.
Well, Erwin has cut himself, and now you're butchering Lego parts. This is perfect podcast for Lego fans. Okay, and on the right bottom side is
I cut
myself.
some pins.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I'm going to pull up you on the big screen if you're able to show it off.
A little higher.
A little high. Yeah, perfect.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. I might
very
steal some
cool.
of that.
Still a work in progress, but I got the valve gear running now.
If you've got it running, I'm gonna steal it. I'm not gonna figure it all out myself.
I think if I was gonna build a European locomotive that wasn't
There wasn't.
Oh no, this is a cliffhanger right now.
Glenn, you dropped away.
Exciting!
Uh-oh.
What will happen next?
Will it be steam? Will it be diesel? Will it be electric?
Yeah. Will be German, English, Dutch, French, Italian.
English.
I think England, yeah, probably. For some strange reason, we all quite like British locomotives, but none of us had actually built one, as far as I know.
Have I ever said I like British locomotives?
So,
I do.
so this is quite normal, Enrico, because as you might know, all of the Dutch, well, most of the Dutch steam engines are based on the principles of steam engines in the UK and not steam
That's correct.
engines in Germany. So
Nerd.
you know the big drive wheels and such. Damn! I'm trying to be smart.
Martijn, there's a
I
question
don't
for
know
you.
more, but
Is
Yes.
Does your BR50 have the Walsjaardsvalverkeer?
Walsjaar.
I'm not really sure. I borrowed a book from someone and I can that's
Oh,
actually Enrico's book, who's been a great help
Yeah.
at providing reference material.
Yeah, you can do that well.
BR50 uses wall shards. I believe it's a little bit different in design, but I actually don't know the names of all the different types of valve gear. And also, I'm restricted by whatever train bricks could provide me without having calculated the lengths of different parts. So I'm just using what's on hand because it takes ages and ages and a lot of postal costs to get some extra parts.
Yeah, we're
Which is
thinking
the-
about designing our own with the help of Glenn. But that's still work in progress.
Sorry, but I've lost my internet. I
you're
came
back.
No, you're back.
Ah.
Welcome back.
In the live
Isn't
chat.
that on ration in the U?
Oh.
You were saying you were working on something European or thinking about something?
Yeah, the cliffhanger.
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I was going to model something European that wasn't from Great Britain, it would probably be the BR50 or a French 230B.
Good
I would go
choice.
Really
for
like
the French one. I have no idea why, but I think
there's
someone is building
already
quite a good 50.
there's already too
Oh,
many
yeah.
German trains out there.
Yeah, I didn't even realize France had two.
I
Nah.
beg to differ.
I think that's just because Enrico builds German trains.
Yeah.
In our club, definitely. Yeah.
We don't
There's
need
one
more
very
Spain.
simple reason that I chose for the BR50, and that was I had the wheels at hand, and they turned out to be exactly the right size for the 1 to 45 scale.
That works out very nicely.
Yeah.
Ah,
Actually, somebody asked me about that a while ago. This is like a year ago, and I did it all on like sticky notes, but I went through and did the actual inches to studs to feet math and converted all of the Lego wheel sizes to the exact like 8 stud
Diameter?
to 10 foot
Yeah.
numbers.
oh.
I probably need to make a spreadsheet of it and post it somewhere because it's pretty
Please
pretty
do.
convenient.
Please do.
If you can make a spreadsheet, then you can throw in then your preferred skill.
Yeah, it's
I
probably
can
something
imagine
I need
that
to work
being
on.
quite a lot of work.
It's probably not that bad, but it's just a matter of doing it. But I'll add that to my mile-long list of things that I want to do.
I can imagine that.
Good excuse for an article, isn't it?
Says the
There's
guy
the
who's
one
got.
who needs half a year to publish one.
Yeah, that needs a half a year published one. We are working on a combined article for the last 2 years.
Hey, but I actually finished mine.
Yeah,
Now.
that's true.
So
Now
it's now your
it's now my
responsibility.
turn. Yeah,
That's got to be like the article to end all articles after 2 years.
yeah, for 2 years. Yeah.
I
Actually,
always
I'm
thought
still waiting on the follow-up for of European stuff in the US. You said you were going to do American stuff in the Europe's follow-up.
Well,
Yep.
he's got
It's
the
only been
E2.
4
He's got the
years, so
E2B electric locomotive now.
True. So I have to put effort into that. But I can.
Ooh.
You're absolutely right, Erwin, and it's even worse because it's on draft now for I think over 2 years. In the beginning of BMR, I wrote an article on how European locos went across the pond and were tested or outright bought by U.S. railroads, of course, mostly Amtrak. During their test phase for the AEM7 procurement. And I actually wanted to write a second one on Canada, which I kind of wrote. And at that point in time, we moved from Curaçao back to the Netherlands. I totally forgot about it. And now it's on kind of indefinite hiatus on the WordPress blog that we backend that we have. So
Somebody
it's coming at one point.
somebody just complimented your locomotives, Gerbrand. Your it's going the NS 1600/1700/1800, and the picture is of course by Aaron. He's our main photographer. How
The only
many?
one who can handle a camera.
Yeah, the only one who's able to handle
Yeah.
a proper camera. Yeah. How many years?
I don't want on board.
How many years have you been working on this one, actually, Gerbrand?
So, from the first version onwards, you have to know. I think I started with Lego Trains in 2004 ish. I think I was in third grade. I think in high school in the Netherlands, and it was one of the first locomotives I started with. I think I finished it in the end in 2013 when it was in its third or fourth iteration. And I might have actually rebuilt it another time while in Curaçao. So that was in 2016. So you can do the math. It's,
Oh, I just got an idea. Oh, I got an idea.
Yeah.
Christian is actually building quite an interesting tree. Do you want to show that off, Christian?
Oh no, I'm not building it. I'm reusing it. It's
Okay,
down to the
okay.
final touch. I'm reusing all kinds of stuff, and well, I don't see the point in rebuilding all my trees, so I'm just reuse if I like it. So it's going to be here in a cozy corner in front of the big church you can see in the background. This is the cozy corner I'm building. I don't know if it shows.
Yeah, it's pretty visible.
Yeah, I'm putting you up on the big screen right now. Yeah.
And my idea is to arrange a couple of buildings in the way that the tram track disappears between the buildings without people being able to see where it goes. That has a couple of well, that's good because you don't have to do all the track where people can't see it, and you can just leave it bare.
Christian, could you move your webcam just a bit up?
Yeah. Yes.
Yep. Just a bit up. Yeah, perfect. Yes.
Yes, that's me again.
If anybody's interesting and wants to bully Gerbrand, go to brickshelf.com and search Super Lego Man.
Ah, come on, that's mean. Everyone
that's
started
mean.
out small.
This is
I'm quite sure we can find stuff on you as well.
Yeah,
Oh,
pretty
I know
sure,
stuff
pretty
by
sure.
heart.
Yeah.
Wait,
So
wait a
this
minute,
was
Enrico. Weren't you on the Dutch train television commercial showing off
yeah,
your
that was
trains?
yeah. Tine and I were actually on a commercial for the Dutch National Railway, and Tine was the main character. I was just one of the yeah, how do you call it?
Useful idiots.
Useful
supporting
Lego
actors.
train. Yeah, I was one of the main actors in the show.
Extra.
Extra, no, actor. I had to act.
I was acting.
He was acting.
Everyone was paid, but you weren't.
I was paid. I was paid to give. I had a free day ticket to travel everywhere I like in the Netherlands, except Dutch students are able to travel for free in the Netherlands. So I had nothing useful for it.
I get the same here in Germany.
That's called
Only for
work.
Deutsche Bahn trains,
Yeah.
I think, right?
Yeah.
Oh dear.
No metronome for you.
Oh dear. Do we have a link for that commercial? Yeah, I'll just quickly pull the commercial up.
Oh,
Somebody was very disappointed. Not a lot of people have seen the commercial.
I saw it.
Actually, it's last time I looked at it. The last time I looked at it, it had less
2000
views than a video I uploaded years ago.
Almost 3,000 people have seen the commercial. I've put up a link in the live chat.
Wasn't it mostly posted on Facebook though?
Yeah, it's only posted on their YouTube channel and then reshared on their Facebook and other social media. It hasn't been on public television, unfortunately.
Yeah, next year we'll have to build better stuff.
But you know, Enrico, you actually make a good point by pointing out that you know we all like these old brick shelf or relic accounts laying around. It as a tie-in to the question, it just takes a long time before you build something well, and the moment when you finally manage to build things that other people say like wow, at that point in time you're starting to doubt yourself. It's like in the article that Glenn posted on Thursday. I'm always fascinated with people who still give me compliments on the 1600, because for me, I have the same as what Glenn said about his Crusader. When I'm looking at it, I think like, this can be improved and that can be improved and such and so, and this doesn't run well anymore. And I never get around doing it because there's far more interesting projects, that I can work on. So, for me, it's not. I'm always fascinated with it because for me, it's not like my top model anymore. For sure not.
But it's true. It takes quite a long time to go back to your models, to change it, to make it better. And I think everybody is able to recognize the same thing, the same problem.
Gerbrand, if it helps, I think you can do better as well.
Ouch.
Oh, that hurts.
Please apply cold water to
Really
burnt area.
I think your SIG might some performance improvements as well.
Well, at least I build trains that actually run on track and that move faster than 2 centimeters an hour.
I beg to
let me
differ.
remind you guys about the one train that could pass the crossover.
Yeah,
and
Just realized my
everybody
mic
else
was
knew
muted.
him on
it's
it.
crocodile. Yeah.
Oh, really?
I think back at Lego World, my trains were the most reliable and lost not that many parts, if I remember right. And they
Actually,
didn't
You should try to
disintegrate
run
when.
your container cars through the curves.
Yeah. Okay. I've
And
improved them a lot since then. I've rearranged the trucks on it, and now it runs completely smoothly.
Dale and I have a running joke with some of the other train guys that are and have been in Penlug that true and proper Penlug locomotives and cars always shed parts for extra speed.
That's pretty good. Okay, this is one of the train bricks driving. Martijn, could you show it off again?
Yes, this is the driving rod, and I just painted it with Posca pens, which is a tip from Gerbrand, which is ideal for small markings that
Which
don't
was used
require
by
a lot
Glenn.
of effort. And I painted the insides red like the BR50 has. So
Nice.
And now
that
all
was
we.
the last part that needed painting. Usually I don't paint stuff. I don't even sticker that much, but I figured since it's not an original Lego part anyway, I might as well decorate it properly.
Yeah, that's my same approach.
Now he's
I
not
was-
listening. We can say something bad about Gerbrand.
No, I actually turned
Ah.
on regular.
Actually, when I was looking at those new switches from Trixbrick, the double crossover thingies, or I've no idea how to properly translate them. I don't know if
zeg
no
maar.
Enrico has one.
The R104 double crossover or the
Yeah, one.
the single slip or the double slip
The
switch.
double slip switch. Yeah.
I'll just pull up Trix bricks right now, so we don't have.
I'm still looking into ways to motorize it because last year we had some motorized.
Wait, I have it
points.
lying around. I don't get it.
Yeah, I said that. But I haven't figured a way out. So if anyone can do that, it would be great.
Well, I'm a part of a German club called the Noppenbahner, and we one of our guys, he's currently watching the stream, so shout out to you.
Ooh.
He's found a way to motorize the 104 switches with old 12-volt switch motors.
Oh, that might actually work. Yeah, I'll have
And
to
it's
get
and
those.
it's cool because you have all these old controls that still work as well.
This is the
Oh.
switch
Yeah,
Aaron was talking about. I hope it's
Oh, yeah.
it's clear to see. But if you go on the underneath, it's all
I missed the anti-studs
exactly.
and holes.
So if you take a drill and just make a small hole here, you're able to make a switching mechanism.
But those repurposing of all 12-volt motors is actually quite a good idea. I don't know.
Yeah.
Does he have any tutorial online somewhere, or
I don't think so. We do not
if
post
he's
that
watching,
much
you should
online.
make it?
Please make.
Yeah, I would like to read that.
I tried to find a picture of that.
I believe I saw something in the back, like a big gray hunk next to a switch, but actually we
Yep,
didn't
yep,
realize
yep.
it was an old 12-volt switching motor.
But it works.
Oh, that's quite cool, actually.
Alright. Should I ask around another question? A PFX brick.
Yeah, that would be great if it would happen, but the new track system.
Yeah.
But I think
Yeah.
Currently,
I think
well,
everyone wants the new track system from PFX Breaks, but nobody gets it.
I'll pop,
Not yet, anyways.
I'll pull up a link
I think
in
I think
the
because
live.
of this current global crisis would be rather
Yeah.
difficult for anyone to get a sort of business going right now,
I've
Mhm.
because
got
people keep focusing on more basic things in life right now. At least that's what I'm
yeah, I understand.
experiencing right now here in Germany. That people just tend to buy toilet paper and noodles and all of that stuff, and they don't want to spend money on a rather niche product, which the 9-volt system is. There's
Yeah.
not many people around in the Lego chain community that still rely heavily on that 9-volt stuff.
Some of
No.
them do.
Yeah,
I think
we want to, but we need the proper stuff. And Germany, we have this one guy is called Lego Connex, and he made some great custom rails, and they are very nice. Haven't seen it in person, but I've seen them on pictures, and they're great. He used Gorge 1 rails and just glued them onto Lego tiles, and he's even
Mm.
built switches, and it's a great. It's more like a garden railway than a Lego railway.
Did
However,
we, Gerbrand, didn't we have a guy in the Netherlands who did the same?
good question.
I thought we did. I might find something on Google.
I only know of the Frenchie. There was a couple of years ago a guy from Freelock who did the high-speed train on his own track, and he even
Like
had it
12
had it
9-volt
lined.
motors on it.
yeah.
That's terror. That's a lot. But yeah,
Don't remember.
maybe I would be definitely interested in the PFX break track, or even if it's just to get some charging whilst driving. If I could put up some 9-volt tracks inside the station and just get my train to wait there and charge while it's waiting.
Yeah, that would be a pretty cool idea. Yeah.
You wouldn't need the effects break for that.
No, I know.
You
Perhaps
already
I'm
do
going
that
to
now.
include it anyway.
I want to get rid of the battery boxes.
I think that's the major
Yeah.
point, and all the other things we can work out in the end. And I think that FX Bricks also understands that, because it is on their part list as well to do motor, and so that we aren't relying anymore on the old Lego 9-volt motor. But it all stands or falls with getting rid of the battery box, and thus putting in or a pickup, a 9V pickup, or a 9V motor. And the moment they find out how that works, I'm pretty sure that it will. Yeah, if they do the right marketing, it should be
Yeah.
really a big seller.
A couple of
Yeah, I
questions in
found the
from the
guy.
live chat. First of all, do we have any plans for Lego World 2020? Well, we do have plans, but the difficult thing is right now is the Dutch government has banned every event. Every event. So it's currently. Martijn has said this quite a number of times. It's currently 0, and to go to 100,000 in October is, well, not really something that you can say is going to happen. So we
Okay,
do
but for
have
the sake
plans.
of conversation, let's just assume it goes on.
Assume it's going on. Yeah. So we have plans, but we also have a backup plan, and that's just to if Lego isn't going to happen this year, we'll make sure the layout next year will be a lot bigger.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
better.
and
Should I
better.
get up the map?
No, I don't want to show that off, to be honest.
Okay. Okay.
Yella's ask for import costs to from
Those.
Big Ben Bricks wheels to the Netherlands. Well, keep in mind, if you go over 20 something euro, you have to pay 16 euro import taxes. So make sure your order is underneath, just under the import tax cost limit. I'm not sure how much is it. Tine, do you know it?
22 euros, I believe.
20 euro to
Another
you. So,
great reason to live in Germany rather than the Netherlands.
Is
okay.
your import tax lower?
Yeah.
I think so, yes.
Yeah, I think we
Okay,
in the
I might
Netherlands
have
have
used that.
really strange
You made a
import tax.
better deal with the US.
I
That's
so
strange.
I bought a full circle of R120 brick tracks last year, and I paid 136 euros, I think it was, just for the product, and then another 30 euros for the import tax for the
Oh,
customs.
wow. Okay, the
Yeah.
live chat is going up with friends from America, apparently. So Kale's asking, when did the Europeans decide to take over BMR? Well, Kale, that was a couple of years ago. Me and Gerald made a pact that we would take over BMR.
You can never trust the Germans, so
Yeah, and then we
I
found
think it
out
kind of-
Germans were interested too, so...
I think it all kind of came to a point on Friday evening.
Yeah, last Friday evening, yeah.
Enrico just messages me and he says, "Hey, we can live stream on Sunday if you want, and we'll have like 6 people from the Netherlands and 1 from Germany, and then you can. Oh, Glenn. Oh, by the way, Glenn, you can join if you want."
But we call it BMR.
Yeah, and then we'll just call it the pilot episode of the BMR podcast. But
Yeah.
yeah. Well, that just means, like I said in the chat, we just need to have another episode where we'll have the rest of the Americans on here as well.
Yeah, I would love to see
I
that.
think-
Yeah, it would be pretty cool. It
Yeah,
would be,
Enrico is the BMR podcast is kind of Enrico's brainchild right now. So
yeah.
he and I have been discussing some ideas and some ways that we could go with it, and what we'll likely end up doing is rotating out pretty thoroughly the people that we have on, and we'll get to talk with everybody on occasion, and hopefully stream or post semi regularly, maybe like
saw the-
once a month or
Yeah,
bi-monthly or something like
That's
that.
exactly the same reason why there's so many currently joined in, because it's the pilot episode, and we won't just ask as many people as we could. But we have a thing of a plan. I'm not sure it's going to be on a monthly basis or a 2-monthly basis. I'm not sure yet, but we have quite interesting ideas. Inviting other builders from all over the world. That's the best thing about internet, is you're able to speak to everybody all across the world.
Wait, there's others?
There's
Oh.
others, yeah. There are other
Never mind.
strange people like us.
Oh,
Interesting.
but I would say ask the Danish. The Danish or Swedish groups have some quite good layouts as well.
Yeah, as well. And I would
That's
really
great
like to
looking.
interview a couple of Australian builders.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah, I know this Australian builder. You mean Alexander? I think he's called Narrow God on the Flickr.
Yeah,
he's
Narrow
an
God,
exceptional builder.
Jonas Davy.
Martijn, your webcam just switched to your hallway.
Yeah, that's because my webcam is on my trolley now.
It's a nice hallway.
Guys, I'm going to log off because the battery of my laptop is almost down, and I have no extension cord here. So
Okay.
good
Right, was-
night.
Good night.
Thank you.
Night.
Thank you for joining.
Thank you for joining,
Good
Christian.
night.
Thanks.
What time is it anyway?
Uh,
For the Dutch people, it's 21:30, 40.
Depends where you are.
yeah, depends.
Yeah,
on you.
depends where you are.
For me, it's 15:40.
Yeah, I don't want
You've
to
got
extend the
more time
live
than we
stream
do.
too much anymore. Since then, how longer the live stream is, the less likely people are going to rewatch it.
Fair
I
enough.
doubt anyone will rewatch this.
Oh,
According to the YouTube page, there's 15 people watching
Yeah.
now, and we've been going for almost
14.
an hour and 15 minutes.
and the action of you cutting yourself was
14
pretty
now.
awesome, Erwin.
I think
I didn't cut myself. I just opened a packet of LED lights and I tore open an old wound from cooking an hour earlier.
so. There's
But those
14
LEDs
people,
might be
15
might
people
be
watching us right
interesting.
now.
I found
Um,
them on the internet and they are small. I've got
How small actually?
yeah,
I
really
went
really
on the
small.
internet and I found this.
I'll just get a Lego stud next to them so you can pretty much see how small they are.
Right.
Yeah,
Ooh,
and they're
wow.
bright.
Yeah,
They're
that's
just as
really
bright
small.
as a regular 3mm LED. I just I bought them because I had a light in one of my upcoming trains which could display warm white and red. but I
That's
couldn't
exactly
fit
what
in.
I'm looking for as well.
Yeah, I'll send you the link then. But I couldn't fit in a 3 millimeters RGB LED and also program it to be the right kinds of light with the PFX brick without being all that much of a hassle. So I decided, well, maybe I can find some really small LEDs, and apparently I could. And they got built-in wires, otherwise I couldn't solder this.
Yeah, it's
The tip
really
of my
small.
soldering
Too, yeah.
iron is about 3 times the size of this LED.
So how do you power it?
I intend to use the pin lab from the PFX brick.
Okay. So then you can also program it accordingly to movement and so.
Yeah, I will even include the possibility that when I hit the emergency stop on the train itself, when it has slowed down, it will display the emergency signal. So the 2 yellows and 1 red, or other way around.
It's really cool.
But do 2 of them fit into this tiny little hole here, right
That's
next
a
to each
3 millimeter
other?
hole. Yeah, of
I
course.
don't know.
They're
It's
quick.
just the one extra 1 round brick here, because that's what I need.
Yeah,
Yeah.
asking your.
Really realize how small these are. These are 2.
Sure, you could fit like 4 of them through there.
Wow, dude.
You can
How-
fit a lot
How
more than 4 in there.
how expensive are they?
I paid €1 or something, €2 for 5.
Oh, that's very expensive. I don't see myself buying these at this extraordinary price. One euro for 5 LEDs. And FX Bricks is charging $30 for 4 lights.
Yeah, and they're bigger.
As an
Yeah,
American
they're
who
bigger.
doesn't understand conversion rates, I'm going to have to assume that was satire.
No, it's the
1 euro
conversion rate is like 1 to 1.
$1.20, I think. So
Yeah, something along those lines. So
Yeah.
yeah,
they're dirt cheap.
yeah.
Well, that sounds awesome.
If we do the podcast next week, then it will probably be 1-to-1 by that time.
Uh, if there is a next week,
If there's a next week.
yeah, we don't really know.
Maybe next month.
Yeah, people going crazy around here, fighting over toilet paper.
Yeah.
Next week it'll be LED lights.
Yeah.
Next
I-
week we'll be fighting over LED lights. Yeah.
We might make a post which contains all the useful links to the LED lights and the ball bearings. I've got them laying around
That's
as
great.
well somewhere.
You can get them on the BMR website, and
Yeah,
then,
we have
then
them on
they
the
come
BMR website.
pre-assembled.
Yeah,
So
but but my parents own a bank press, so
yeah, but
DIY
everybody has
method.
parents with a bench press.
Yeah, I just used a chair leg, so that works still.
that story again.
That story again. Yeah, just press the.
That's
Just take the
DIY
brick,
method.
the ball bearing, place it underneath your chair, pull up the chair, press it down. It's done.
So
Or
I
a
have
hammer,
I have
but I suck at hammering.
I-
I almost destroyed my entire desk with hammering.
I have a
That's
good
because
story
you
I
have
can
to
tell
hammer
about bearings
careful.
now.
Ooh, dude.
This was back in like, oh, when was it? It would have been early 2017, right when we started like using bearings. And so I had bought like 50 or so, maybe like 100 from someplace online. And so I was putting them into the trucks or bogies, if you will, of my Pennsylvania Railroad passenger cars that I never use anymore. And I didn't have a good method for putting them in there. So what I did was I boiled some water
Oh wow, yeah.
and threw the Technic bricks, put the Technic bricks in the boiling water, and left the bearings in my freezer while I was at work. Then I'd come home, boil the water, and put the Technic bricks in there. Then it gets better. Hold on. I put the Technic bricks in the boiling water, and after about a couple minutes, I would set the frozen bearing on top of the boiling Technic brick, and then use the bottom of like a metal coffee cup to hammer it in there.
I didn't know you did chemistry.
So the funny part is about that is the metal coffee cup now will not sit flat on a table because it's so dense from hammering the bearings in there.
Yep.
That was the Neanderthal method of installation.
Glenn.
I I just use this simple hammer and it works perfectly.
Ah,
Just have a,
I
use
didn't.
a little bit force every once in a while.
So the thing about that is that I would need to have gone out and buy a hammer.
yeah. Glenn, I actually got a question because you use in your BMR kits, you use the 1x2 Technic brick with 2 holes, right?
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
that's correct.
And I've been using these parts. I don't know if you can see them properly on the
Yeah,
webcam.
Yeah.
I've used some of them.
Okay, because I was wondering, is there any upside in using the 1x2 bricks? Because the only thing I run into is that they're really hard to incorporate in designs like these.
Sometimes they can be. I would just from going kind of shooting from the hip, but I think like American freight car trucks and some passenger car trucks are a little bit more bulky than what you would find in, I guess, the Netherlands or parts of Europe. So
Yeah.
it's a little bit easier for us, but um, there's I guess the main benefit, is that there's just more material there to keep the bearing pressed in, so there's less of a likelihood that the plastic will crack around it. But even
Ah,
still, the
okay.
plastic will crack, and I've had. I mean, it's just the fact of the matter is, without a custom part, if you try to press that bearing in there, sometimes the plastic around it just will crack. So,
Yeah, I've got a couple
Yep.
with stretch marks. I don't
yep,
have them on hand right now.
I've
But
got
yeah,
I've got a pretty nicely broken Technic brick in front of me.
But I
yeah.
can say, I don't really know if you can see it, but these
I'll pull
actually
you up
work
on the big screen.
quite
Sorry, I was
good.
distracted.
Is that the design?
That's the new design of my freight trucks I use.
Hey, it looks eerie familiar.
Yeah, it does. And because of this, because of this nice little, I don't know, I think
So
it's a
strange.
bracket or
Those Germans always have that many great ideas. Where did they get those?
Yeah.
I
It's
was wait-
incredibly because now the couplers are connected to the truck itself, which means
Hmm.
it doesn't derail any longer.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Smart move.
but
So now we can
it's
crash
still
into them.
So what you actually did was the same as everybody else did for years in model railroading. Attach the magnets on the trucks instead of on your.
Who's look?
maybe.
Yeah.
I always
Kill
like
just
doing
reacted.
What?
The 1x2 bricks are stronger for ball bearings, and I've used the plate version before and had problems with a lot of cracking. And I do need to confirm that one. I cracked one lying around somewhere on my desk, but as always, my desk is really messy, so I'm not able to find it. But the 1x2 bricks are
Meanwhile,
apparently
I'm off.
stronger. Yeah.
Have a nice night.
Have a nice night.
Thank you for
You-
joining.
Right.
Good night.
Yeah, I can imagine that if you do it on a resale basis, that you need the extra strength, which BMR does. You don't just produce those ball bearings for own use. You actually produce them to sell and give away and whatever. So
Yeah,
I can
that's
imagine
another part of our thinking.
you need it to be reliable. You can't just sell it and oh it breaks. Well, whatever. I just press another one. That's my case and Enrico's and. But you
Mhm.
can't do that with a set because then you just get killed by this shipment and stuff. Yeah.
All problems that everybody has to face at some point.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be really nice if we had a custom part for it, but the Technic bricks have been working really well enough for what we're trying to do with them.
Actually, I
And
think
that would be like, it's like we've got the wheels coming and we've got like custom track and stuff like that, so that would probably be a very low priority thing to work on. But
yeah.
Wasn't someone working on on a ball bearing brick, if I remember
that
correctly?
was
Yeah, I've seen some
to hold a larger
Technic
bearing that
axle.
would fit a Technic axle.
Yeah. That's for
Ah,
the steam engine guys.
Who?
I would love to give it a shot at some point.
That's
Yeah, it could be really interesting. Because yeah, steam engines do have a lot of friction. I'm
Yes, they
currently
do.
working on a testing frame for a BR64, but it will probably take me a lot of time.
64.
I'm not a steam engine person.
It's a nice little engine.
Well, steam engines are boring anyway. Electrics, that's what moves
Yeah,
Electric is
people
all the way.
around.
True. I agree.
Oh, you have offended me.
This is American and electric and Dutch. I've got it all.
Come on! I drive diesel trains for a living, so what else can I say? I like electrics
Oh,
more.
no,
But
I don't blame you at all.
I
Isn't
think
there somewhere a diesel-powered steam engine which generates electricity? So
Well,
everybody can be angry?
I don't want to
think
get.
there
I don't want
was,
to. Yeah, I don't want to
actually.
get
Oh, God.
nerdy, but back in Germany around the 70s or 80s, there was a shortage of. If I'm correct, to be honest, there was a shortage of diesel locomotives, and I believe they converted a couple of steam locomotives to be diesel powered. I'm not sure if that's true, but I've heard it somewhere.
No. They converted coal burning
Yeah,
engines
to oil burning. Yeah, but
to oil burning engines, but that's pretty much it because you
okay.
cannot convert a steam engine into a diesel engine.
Okay,
No.
it's a story that I
you-
heard, and as a
technically you can use diesel fuel in a
Yeah.
steam locomotive. I forget it does work, but it's definitely not ideal. I've heard a story about it.
Not very efficient.
There was, if I can remember the story, somebody was like, I think I was talking to the guy who was firing the steam locomotive, but they were using diesel for a minute, and so he needed to like clear out the flues or something like that. So he like did something where he let a little bit extra of the diesel fuel into the firebox, and then there was kind of a loud boom,
Hmm.
and then he turned it back down. But apparently it was effective. I think diesel, to my knowledge, diesel fuel is a lot more, I guess, potent than like what you would burn for like recycled vegetable oil or basically what you would actually want to use in like an oil burning steam locomotive.
Now I can imagine that, especially because diesel actually ignites on high pressure and not just sparks.
Right.
And yeah, that would not be really useful.
Yeah.
Well,
It
it's
there's a lot of
burning too fast as well. That's another problem.
yeah,
No.
You will drain your
too
entire
fast and too much
yeah.
heat. Enrico, read the Discord chat.
oh, sorry, I was distracted. Sorry.
That's alright.
I'm back. Sorry. The Discord chat.
Read
Need to
the
scroll.
chat.
Read the chat.
Yeah.
Read the chat. Yeah. Okay.
Because I'll keep talking.
So, otherwise, Aaron just keeps talking. If I haven't seen any more questions in the live chat, so if
It means we can answer more next week, month,
the next
insert
time, yeah.
time frame here.
If people are interested in more of these, we'll probably post them around Facebook and other social media. We do try to do this more in advance to let you know instead of 1 or 2 hours before. That's a bit of a mistake on our end. Thank you so much for joining.
Well, for the pilot episode, it turned out pretty well.
For the
No,
pilot
I-
episode, if you have
It was
any feedback
definitely
for
better
us,
than the time that Enrico and I tried to stream by ourselves.
exactly.
maybe help us that Enrico and I already
Yeah.
tried some stuff before
Yeah.
beforehand.
If
Yeah,
you have any
that
feedback
definitely
for us, let us know. And if you have any questions or topics you want us to discuss about next time, I think that's it then. Germans, his camera
Alright.
just dropped out, so he is going to bed.
Yeah,
Bye,
I gotta
everybody.
get back to work in
Because
Yeah, and Raymond has to drive trains tomorrow, so
2:30 in the morning. I
2:30
have
in
to
the
get
morning.
up, so that's in 4 hours and 30 minutes. So yay!
Get some sleep, man.
Get some sleep. Yeah, be safe.
good night.
Yeah.
All right, good night,
Good night.
everyone. Bye.
Thanks for joining.
Stay safe.